Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a how-to video. I don't think I've ever done one of these before. It is basically how to cover your dark under eye circles. Not how to reduce puffy eyes. Now that is something as simple as placing a cold spoon over your eyes apparently, or some cucumber, or some other type of vegetable, potato. This is how to cover all those pesky under eye dark circles that you get from lack of sleep, fatigue, exhaustion, pollution, diet, hereditary. It can be genetics, your genetics. So I hope that this video is helpful to those of you that may be a little bit unsure about how to do it, what to do, what steps to use, and that sort of thing. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed my first how-to video. I'm going to think about what one to do next. Oh, I hope that you like my t-shirt. It's from Uniqlo, by the way. I will link where I got it below. And yeah, so enjoy the video. Bye. Okay, here are my dark circles in full effect. I have got my foundation on. I've done most of my eyeshadow, my eyebrows, and I have just set my foundation, but I don't have any under eye concealer on whatsoever because I wanted you guys to see exactly what my under eye circles look like. I know you would have seen them before in tutorials, but I've obviously never had to talk about them because I'm just showing you what I'm doing more than anything else. So I've got kind of darkish purplish under eye circles. And the best thing to cover them up with is a yellow based or an orange based concealer or corrector. Color correcting basically just neutralizes the color underneath your eyes. Depending on what the shade or tone under your eyes is, if you look at a color wheel and see what shade is opposite, that is the best one to use to color correct under your eyes. So because I've got purplish, darkish purplish under eye circles, yellow is opposite that, or orange. You just have to kind of test out what your own type is for your skin tone. Most people tend to use yellow under their eyes because it's the most general and it's the most kind of easy. So I'm going to show you two different types of concealers and two different ways that I tend to cover up my under eye circles. So the first one and the most general one that I tend to do quite often is to use this concealer, which is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, the Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. I've done a review on this, which I'll link below, and you guys have seen me use it in all my tutorials. And the shade I'm using it in is medium neutral. I've also got it in medium dark warm. Yeah, medium dark warm, which is almost exactly the same color as my skin. And what you tend to want to do when you apply under eye concealer or cover your dark circles under your eyes is you normally want to brighten that area a little bit, because obviously you've got dark circles. So there's almost no point doing it exactly the same color as your skin. You want to kind of bring light to that area of your face. So this is why I tend to use medium neutral more than medium dark warm. These come with doe foot applicators, so they're awesome. And what I basically do for this eye is in like a semicircle shape. Just apply it like that. It's that simple. When the amount that I use, normally just from one application, I can do both eyes with no problem whatsoever and still have more left over. You don't need to cake it on or pile it on at all. Now, what I normally tend to do, this is going to take care of the colour itself. Now, what I want to do is I want to apply something which is going to brighten the area a little bit as well. And that is when I use my Prep and Prime highlighter in the shade Light Boost. This is a yellow-based highlighter. There's also a pink one. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I don't really use that one. Something with pink in it also works well at combating dark under eye circles, but most people tend to use yellow. It just depends on the tone of your skin. So what I do is I click this up a few times and then I literally go round it just like that. Now, normally what I would also do is I would do my nose and my forehead as well as my chin and my top lip, but I'm going to leave that off just for now. Now, the way to blend it all in, because obviously you want to cover everything up now, I use a damp beauty blender. This is one way that you can do it. You literally just soak your beauty blender under the tap, rinse it all out so that it's nice and damp. And then I'm going to start to blend from the inside of my eye here and I'm going to blend it all the way out to the outer edge and just press on it so that part of the product does come off into this, and it gives a nice seamless and even finish. Just letting it sit here for a couple of seconds sometimes helps as well, because what happens is the natural heat from your body will kind of make the product itself a little bit more emollient and able to move it around a little bit more if it's quite a thick concealer. The reason that I hang my mouth open like this all the time, which makes me look like a weird fish, but the thing is, because this eye area is closed and you can see the little wrinkles around my eyes, going like this, as wide as possible, stretches that area so that you can get the product into each and every little crease. All the way to almost the tops of your cheekbones. And there it all is. Now, in case there is a big difference between your foundation and your concealer, just take your foundation brush and just blend out any harsh lines. Some people like a really, really bright under eye concealer, some people don't. If you've got a more bright concealer underneath your eyes, you may have to blend it out a little bit because obviously your foundation is a completely different colour. There you go. Then what I normally do is have a little look again, up close, and then I just blend it out. Now, the brush that I normally always use is the Real Techniques contour brush. And for the time being, I've been using the Kat Von D Shade and Light eyeshadow palette, contour palette. There are 3 shades along the top. This orange one is for colour correcting, so to cancel out any purpleness under your eyes. Then there's a banana, which is yellow, for setting the colour, because obviously the colour is a yellow concealer. And then this more ivory shade one, you can use it. You can use it if you have used something pink under there, because there's a little bit of a pink in it, but I tend to mix all 3 of them together to get like a nice perfect even coverage. Dab it twice into each, and then again stretch out my eyes and set everything. I'm just going in a dabbing motion. This brush is perfect to fit under the under eye, and that's it. Nice and perfect and soft and smooth and seamless. And now you can see the difference between this eye and that eye. All my darkness has been completely covered. If you don't feel that it has, you can always go back in with a highlighting powder or something a little bit lighter. Obviously, it all depends on how much product you put as well. Don't put any more than I did, because the more product you apply, the more likely it will be to crease and cake. Moisturize your under eye area beforehand as well, so that everything applies smoothly and there's no caking and creping and flaking underneath your eye, because your under eye area is really, really, really delicate. So that's one way that I tend to cover my under eye dark circle. Okay, my lips felt a little bit bare, so I put on my lipstick because there was no reason not to. Alright, so I've shown you how I cover my under eye circles on one eye. Now I'm going to show you another way that I cover my under eye circles. Here is a more affordable option for those of you that don't want to spend £18 or whatever it is on the Urban Decay one. It's the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD High Definition Concealer, and the shade that I'm using it in today is Pure Beige. This one has got slightly more pinky undertone than the other one which I use, which is called Creamy Beige, and I alternate between the two depending on how much of a highlight that I want. This one I tend to find gives me a more obvious highlight than the Creamy Beige, and it comes with a brush which you squeeze. Don't need to squeeze loads, and then just brush it under your eye in a triangular motion if you want. All these videos and things that you see of different techniques and ways, it doesn't really make a difference. You blend it all out, so no one really cares. Okay, now what I'm going to do this time is this is all it's going to be, and I'm going to use my ring finger to blend it all in. This is what I used to do before I was able to buy a beauty blender I never used to really like using brushes under my eyes. I still just used to find that they would leave too many streaks. Maybe it was the amount of product I was using, but I just don't like the idea of doing it. So I always used to use my finger. It's only a recent past 2 years I've been using a beauty blender. Otherwise, until then, it was always my ring finger. So just like this, starting from the inside, and then start to blend outwards. And doing it like this, you don't lose any product either, because obviously it's not sinking into your sponge because you're not using one. Obviously the way that you do it like this takes a little bit longer as well. There is that. And then press it into the corners. And slightly start to bring it down a little bit so that it blends into your foundation. Now just give it a close-up. Just making sure that it's right under my wing. Didn't want to miss a bit. Because as you guys know, if you've watched my tutorials, I normally do my foundation and concealer first. Then I do my eye makeup. So doing it like this is a little bit different for me. There we go. So that is with the LA Girl Pro HD Concealer. And what I'm going to do next is I am going to set it all in a variety of different ways. This is one of the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit inserts. She's got a whole range of different types of shades, ranging from very, very fair to very, very dark, to color correct, to contour, and to highlight. And I picked up a couple of these ones, which are more for color correcting, a couple of months ago when they first launched. I've got a few of them. Some of them I tend to use for eyeshadow as well, but today I'm going to be using it to color correct under my eye. So just tap it off and place it underneath. And it's not meant to be obvious that you can see something orange under your eye. The whole point of color correcting is that it neutralizes that area. That's what it's done. It's made everything kind of uniform and got rid of any purpleness that may still have been showing through from the concealer if you've only used a little bit of concealer, because sometimes you may not want to use a lot of liquid under there. Then after that, I'm going to now use Banana by Anastasia Beverly Hills, brand new and unopened. Haha. I have bought so many of these because I love the shade Banana. And this is going to be popped in here into the contour kit, the original contour kit. Voila. And now I'm going to use that next underneath my eyes. That is to give it that hint of yellow. Obviously, when I'm doing this not off camera, I'm super fast. I know you may be thinking that's a lot of products and a lot of steps, but when you're doing it on your own, you're like, done. And now the last step for this eye is to highlight or maybe brighten that area slightly. And I'm going to be using MAC's Pro Emphasize Shaping Powder. So this one is a gorgeous shade for that. And there we go. You can see, I don't know if you can see, this area is a bit lighter than that area. Obviously, I use different types of products. I mixed 3 powders together and applied it to this one. Whereas with this one, I didn't mix them. I applied them one on top of another on top of another. So this is why this side has got more luminosity, I'd say, to it. Whereas with the other one, I don't. But that's not a problem because I think it looks great anyway. So here is how you cover your under eye dark circles. Here we go, all done. What do you think? So I hope that you found this video useful and helpful, and may you never ever ever have to suffer from a dark under eye circle ever again. Now that you know exactly what to do, how to do it, how to cover it, yes, it is possible. You don't have to use hundreds of products. You don't even have to use the color correcting bit. Just as long as you've got a concealer and a setting powder, you're sorted. That's it. So yeah, so if you've got any more questions, and if you want to know anything else, or if you'd like to suggest any other kind of concealers to me, please feel free to let me know below. I have done a top 5 concealers video a couple of weeks ago. It's not that old. I'll link that below for you as well. Other than that, I hope that you're having a wonderful day and that you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, like, share, the rest. See you all in the next video. Bye.